Hi and welcome to the R-9 Room Forest Community Meeting. It is now 7 minutes past 5. We have no one here present in the room, but there are, I believe, 2 of you online at the moment. My name is Glenn Jacklin. I'm the Division Manager of Operations, and here is Rudy Guerrero, the Regional Manager of Roads. Seeing everyone's online at the moment, if you have questions, type them into the chat. I have Jeff Day behind the camera who will read those questions out to me as we go through the meeting. We are here because the R-9 Room Forest is in need of a service charge upgrade. We presently, bring up my notes. So how was the special district formed? This district was formed back in 1983. So the property developer for the area contacted special districts, and in his subdividing of the lots, he paved the roads for the district and formed a special district and asked our predecessors to manage the district on your behalf. You currently pay $100 per parcel for road services, and there is 141 parcels in the district, which creates a total revenue cost of a revenue generation of $14,100 annually. This is paid on your property taxes twice throughout the year, once in April and once in November, and that's how you pay towards the district. We manage the road on your behalf. We look after snow plowing, road repairs, and tree trimming. The reason we're here right now is because when the district was formed, there was no cost of living increase, and so as time has gone by and cost of services has gone up, we are unable to perform the service for you that you requested, or the owners at the time requested of us. And so currently, most services that we do for you are just snow plow, and through the depending on how big the storms are, most of that gets used up every year, and we go in arrears as we try and do the snow plow. As you know, the roads haven't had work performed on them for many a year to repair them. They are just patchwork done so that we can get by. And so we're here now because the roads are coming to a point where they're falling apart to a level where the snowplow vendor is not willing to come into the district and plow. The reason they can make that choice is because they are responsible for any damages they make to their equipment or the road. And so with all the cracking and uplifting and deterioration, the roads are at a point where the vendors will not take that liability on too much longer. And so we're looking to fix this district, get an increased road service cost, and repair the road. So what are we looking at? You received a letter in the mail. This is now the second community meeting. We had one in March outlining this, and now you've had the second one, and we've received the blue survey card back from so far 15 people in the district. We are we've got the opening date until November 17th, so if you haven't already returned on your self-addressed envelope, please return the blue envelope, express your interest, write down your name and information, and pop it in the mailbox. It's a self-addressed, so you do not need to put a stamp on it, and it gets faxed to us. You can also, if you look at the letter, my details are on the back. Feel free to write any email questions or comments to me as we move forward on this. So we're proposing 2 options. As I said, the road is falling apart, so we need to repair the road. The first one is a repair the road, create a loan to pay for the road, which is a 10-year loan, and the other one is upgrade the operation and maintenance so that we can put aside money for repairs to the road and create a fund balance so that in 10 to 15 years we can redo the road again, so that every 15 years at the latest. Your roads will be updated, chip sealed. We put oil and chips on the road so that you'll be driving on a smooth, safe surface every year. The snowplow operators can perform their tasks for you as we go through these months. So the road pavement, as I said, is broken down into two parts. A loan to do the road. That has a total construction cost we're looking at of $370,000. That cost is repaid over 10 years. The interest rate is 3% on that. As you know, at the moment, interest rates are at 6%, so we have locked in a rate half of what we do if we went through private industry to get a loan right now, and that's locked in for the course of the time period. Creates a total interest amount of $43,000 over the life of the loan. So you would be paying per parcel $307.09 every year for 10 years. That is spread evenly across all 141 parcels, and you at the end of 10 years, that portion of the amount falls off because the loan is fully repaid. The second part is the O&M costs, operation and maintenance. That begins in year one at $194. That creates the inspections of the district. It allows for the snow plowing. We estimated how many times it will snow, which if you're looking out the window right now, it looks like it's starting to snow now. They probably won't get to a point of enough to plow. So we're looking at 6 events, 2 hours per event to plow the road. We're also looking at a tenth of the district each year to seal cracks and potholes. So these numbers, as we estimated over, if the average, if we end up having to come into the district more, we do come in, we fix them up and make sure it goes. And as I said, it's an average across these last historical years so that we can estimate how many times you go in there. So the total amount we're creating is your per parcel amount goes from 100 to 194 for the operation and maintenance portion, and the loan part is 307 per year. So that's a total of 501 per year starting in year one. As we have included a 3% cost of living increase so that we're not at this point 10, 15 years from now redoing it again and asking for money to manage the district on your behalf. So if you haven't already, as I said, return the blue envelope in the mail back to me by November 17th so that we can work out where you're at. Currently, we have 10 people who have responded yes, 5 who have responded no, and that's out of a total of 141 parcels. 22 of those parcels have been returned to me because they have not updated their mailing addresses in the county system. That is done through the actual assessors and tax office. So if you go on the county website, sbcounty.gov, and tax assessor's office has a change my address link. If you click that, you can do an automatic change. Though if you're on this meeting, you got the notice through the mail, and so you have the correct address on the line. You can also go to special districts special districts.sbcounty.gov. Click on, that's our website, special districts. Click on the About Us tab, which is the right-hand corner, and do the e-notifications. That also creates your direct mailing link to me. I get an email that so you can put down how you'd like to be contacted, mail, email, and I will direct correspondence directly to you through on the address. Why do most people have their mailing address incorrect? At the time of buying their house, their escrow agent sets up a physical address. Mountains, very few people have physical addresses where they receive mail. They set up a PO box with all their other utilities and so forth. But the county uses a system called PIMS, which stands for Property Information Management System, and that's what the escrow agent usually puts in when you buy your home. So that's what I'm recommending everyone go online to the county's website and go to the assessor and tax office and auditor, controller, and tax office and do the link that says change my address, and that way they can put in their PO box so that they receive the mail that way. Otherwise, it goes to their physical address and they get them returned back to me that way. So what does the future hold if I get enough interest, which it looks like I do have? I will create a Proposition 218 letter, and that will be mailed out to people probably in January. That will indicate a Board of Supervisors meeting, be greater than 45 days from the date that I mailed the letter. At that meeting, people who wish to protest the updated service charge for their property and who are not happy with the improving the road and so forth, they can vote. If it's greater than 50%, the board will direct the Department of Special Districts to cease moving this direction. That pushes us towards the second option that's on the letter, and also the direction if it doesn't, which is the reason that is the direction is because of CSA community governs how we can spend money as a district, and the money that we spend is your money, and we're only allowed to spend the money that is allocated specifically for this district on their roads. So we cannot spend general fund money, we cannot spend gas tax money. We are unaware that those pools of money are not available for districts like this one, because this district is a private road district where, as I said, at formation, if whoever the property owner, the developers, they deem that they wanted special districts to manage the district on their behalf. At present, some people are newly property owners. They bought in the last year or so. Some people are being owners since inception, and some many time between. So that's how the district formed, and that's how we're looking towards managing the district. So we can only spend the money that is generated through this service charge, and as I said, 141 parcels at $100, that's $14,000 annually towards this district. So if at that board meeting, the date will be determined after we move forward with this Proposition 218 letter, which in all direct indications I will be moving forward with, because we're at a 10 yes vote, 5 no vote to move forward with a property owner election. If at that election the board directs us to move forward, we will then set an official election. It won't be this survey card that you've already 5-page letter that comes in the mail that culminates at the end with a yes or a no. Every property owner again will receive it. If their addresses are incorrect in the system, they won't receive the letter unless they contact us through this About Us on our website to get there correctly, or go onto the county's tax assessor website and change their address there. They will then have a chance to vote formally, and if the responses are 50% plus 1 of the district of the respondents responding in a favorable, then service charge will be applied to the next year's tax roll, which will be at that point it'll probably go on the December tax roll. If it doesn't cease, then if it doesn't pass, then we're back to option 2, which is outlined on the letter of special districts will be directed by the board to dissolve the district. And what that will mean was the road will go back to the ownership and responsibility of the property owners. So usually when it comes down to the street that you're on, from one junction to the cross street to cross street. There will be 20 houses, 30 houses, and they will be responsible for the road within that area. Some districts have dissolved and formed the HOA. Some districts have dissolved, and 5 years down the track when the road is deteriorated, they've come back and we've created a new district again. And we've done the steps that we're talking about today, which is create a loan to repay the road and an ongoing operation and maintenance format. So that concludes my presentation. If you have questions, feel free to type them in the chat section right now. I'll give a few minutes to do that. I will stand, as I said, the room is empty. I'm just talking to the two who are online. Still remains at 2. We're up to 3 people now. So I will a minute for any questions. If you don't mind typing no questions if you don't have any, or your question if you have some, and then I'll have them ready to me and I'll answer those questions. If not, feel free to use my contact details at the bottom of the letter. I have my email address. You can, if you think of questions after we've concluded this meeting, feel free to call or email, and I'll be able to respond to those. And again, if you, for the one person who checked, I'm just a little bit late. My name is Glenn Jacklin. I'm the Division Manager of Operations for Special Districts, responsible for the 50 or so road districts, with R-9 Rim Forest being one of them. This year is Rudy Guerrero. He's the Regional Manager of all the roads in Special Districts. Any questions at the moment? To ask a question, there is a voting section which you click from a little pull-down tab. You can raise your hand, or you can click in the chat column and type in comment. Excuse me. So far, no one has typed in any questions. In another minute or so, if you haven't been able to raise your hand, show that you're on something or you're in the process of typing, I can keep pausing, but in minutes, if we don't get any response, I will. The presentation said, feel free to email me. My email is gjacklin@std.sbcounty.gov. It's listed at the bottom of your letter. My phone number is also listed there, which is 909-386-8822. And drop me a question that way if you feel so inclined. If you haven't already, please mail in your self-addressed blue survey card. This is a show of hands. It gives me an indication of a yes or a no. No vote, there's a spot for you to state why you're a no vote so that we can understand if you're a yes vote. You just need to mark the yes box, but you can also write a comment if you feel you need to. It's a self-addressed envelope, so just pop it in the mail. They do all get to me, and we can see what the interest you are. As I said, the reason we're here is because the district has a cash balance of $1,700 at the moment. We will receive some more allocation for the November tax allocation. You'll be all paying property taxes pretty soon. We get a portion of that, about $100 per parcel, so we get some of that added in both November, and then the remainder comes in April each year. And that we operate out of that amount of allocation towards the budget. No questions at the moment? I'll give one more minute. It is now 5:26. We began at 5:07 as try and get people on. So 4 more minutes and then we'll call it an end to this presentation. As I said, so far we've received 15 surveys back, 10 have been yes, 5 have been no. At the March community meeting where we also received 10 yeses, but we had 7 no's at that point. I will go for the response, try and get an accumulated all individual responses, so it might change slightly by the end when I compare who voted in the first and who voted in the second. It might be the same 10 in that case, but I'll combine and we'll have a total of across the 2 meetings expressing people's interest. As I said, the next steps are, if this is moving forward with option 1, I will draft a proposition 218 letter, which will outline when a Board of Supervisors meeting will be. The meeting will be 45 days after the letter is mailed at a minimum. That meets the law on these kind of things, and it will outline, it will give people a chance to present to the board their no response. If you're a yes response, you don't need to do anything. But if more than 50% of the district respond in no, then the board will direct us to move to option 2, which is cease this action and move towards dissolving the district. The phone calls I've received from this district, everyone seems to be in favour of moving forward in this direction. So it seems positive that we'll be going towards the proposition 218 letter and a Board of Supervisors meeting 45 days after that letter is mailed. If there isn't a negative protest vote at that meeting, another 45 days will be when the election can occur, and I'll be mailing out a 5-page detailed election stating all this information on the letter, and then you will be responding in a self-addressed envelope with a yes or a no. If it's a yes, then we move forward and work towards getting the road zone fixed, and the increased service charge will go on your property taxes. That will begin after the road is completed. So we still have several months before the road can be, we can move forward with actually increasing the service charge and getting the road up. That will be detailed on the website as we move forward through the steps. I'm guessing no questions. So if you do have questions in the next couple of days, as I said, I have my website, my email. You can email me or call me. It's at the bottom of the letter. I'm Glenn Jacklin, the Division Manager of Operations. This is Rudy Guerrero, the Regional Manager of Road.